We never had a bath at home, so I would go down to the baths to clean myself once a week. Once a week turned into a few times a week once I met Paul. Working in the library gave me enough money to be able to afford to use the baths while still living at home. My father worked at the steel factory, and my mother stayed at home to look after my two younger sisters and my younger brother. My older brother worked with my dad at the steel factory. They got on very well and had a special bond that I was very envious of. They would work together, go to the pub together, and do everything together. They were best friends. I didn't really have that many friends, but I would cherish the casual interactions I would have with the customers at the library. I worked at the library for 2 years before I met Paul, and I knew the layout like the back of my hand. I didn't like it when the books were misplaced by the customers. I shall never forget my first bath. I had heard about the baths from the female librarians. It was only 30 minutes walk from my work, which was only 10 minutes from home, meaning I could get to the baths from my house in 40 minutes. I went to the baths on a Saturday. I had never seen so many naked men. I felt embarrassed because I was nervous about being naked in front of people. It felt risky and sort of naughty being naked inside the changing cubicles. I liked it in there because I could see people, but they couldn't see me. As I stood in my cubicle, naked, watching the other naked, wet, male bodies transport themselves from the underwater realm to the out-of-water realm, separated by the thin line that was the surface, I was abruptly disturbed from my trance by a dripping wet friendly-looking fellow, about 5'11", with spectacles on. He was unshaven and had a thicket of hair on his chest, covering his nipples, and a thicket of hair around his penis, where you could just see that he had been circumcised. This led me to believe that he was Jewish. These two thickets were joined by a thinner, dainty line of hair. "Are you coming in?" he said. I stumbled, as I didn't know whether he had seen me looking at everyone, and I was very aware that he was looking over the wall that separated the two cubicles. In the months leading up to me going off to war, I shared many swimming sessions with Paul. I fell in love with him in the pool. I went off to war and died on the front line. I come back to see if Paul still swims here. I don't know if I'll ever see him again. I wait in the cubicle, watching the men swim. I like it in here because I can see people, but they can't see me.